Hello to all. My name is Nicole Roth, and I am the Certified Local Government Coordinator for the Kentucky Heritage Council. And I would like to welcome you to this video tutorial that will discuss what a certified local government is. This tutorial is part of a series designed to be a review of certified local governments and your role as a participating partner. Furthermore, these tutorials are catered to be accessible and convenient for each CLG Commission member to be able to satisfy their requirement to attend at least one informational or educational meeting per year. Now, these meetings need to relate to the work and functions of your commission or historic preservation. These video tutorials will be updated regularly, and I welcome any suggestions for future topics. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to contact me or the Kentucky Heritage Council using the information provided on the screen. So, to reiterate again, this video tutorial is discussing the basics of what a certified local government is. So ultimately, a certified local government, or a CLG, is any local government, whether it be a town, city, municipality, or county, that has established Historic Preservation Commission and has been certified by the State Historic Preservation Officer as meeting all federal and state standards, which, needless to say, all of you all have done. Now, the Certified Local Government, or CLG, must sign an agreement with the Commonwealth of Kentucky agreeing to develop and administer its local preservation program so that it complies with national and state preservation goals and standards. Furthermore, the Certified Local Government Program is governed by the National Historic Preservation Act of 1966 as amended, the Code of Federal Regulations, 36 CFR 61, as well as others, the National Park Service Historic Preservation Fund Grants Manual, as well as Kentucky's own State Historic Preservation Law, KRS 82.6604, the Heritage Council's Certified Local Government Program Manual. So for more context, I just want to emphasize this relationship between the state, federal, and local levels. The local governments achieve certified local government status through the National Park Service. In turn, the National Park Service and states gain the benefits of local government partnerships in the National Historic Preservation Program. Another incentive is that access to matching funds state historic preservation offices set aside to fund as a CLG historic preservation subgrant projects. To note, at least 10% of the state's annual Historic Preservation Fund, or the HPF, must go to CLGs. These grant funds are distributed through the Historic Preservation Fund Grant Program, which is administered by the National Park Service and the State Historic Preservation Office. Thus, this program very much is designed for decisions to flow very much from the bottom up. The federal government grants the money, the state, or Kentucky, administers the money and provides oversight and technical assistance. In the local government, you're the one to assess your own needs and choose what grant projects to apply for to implement the solutions you need. So in regards to the benefits of being a CLG, to start, any city or county in Kentucky can become a CLG once it meets federal and state standards. And there are numerous benefits in participating in CLG, in the CLG program, and I'll go through the list you see on the screen, but I just want to emphasize that you can see the CLG in terms of economic development, which I'll circle back to here in just a moment. But benefits in particular, or more specifically, is that being designated, you then receive technical assistance, expertise, and training. It also helps foster a local preservation ethic, and it also allows you to partner and network with other CLGs, not only across Kentucky, but also across the nation. And again, it provides you access to grant funding from the Historic Preservation Fund. And these grant funds require at least a 40% match from your community or from your certified local government. And this is a way to illustrate your commitment to historic preservation. As stated previously, historic preservation is economic development. As a CLG, you are eligible for grant funding to do a survey of your community to see which properties might be eligible for listing on the National Register. Once you have that, you can apply for grant funding to nominate those properties so that the owners are eligible for tax credits for rehabilitating their properties. Many CLGs take advantage of grants to designate their historic commercial downtowns, and if you can create some momentum among downtown property owners using tax credits to fix up their historic buildings, that can be a very powerful tool for revitalizing even small downtowns. Now, to reiterate, the CLG program requires a local commitment. The whole program is based on fostering a sense of shared responsibility for the built environment and a preservation ethic shared and encouraged by municipal staff and elected officials. To put it bluntly, before you are eligible to apply for federal CLG grant money, your city has to show they are invested. This is why the CLG program has developed very specific requirements for every CLG. Just to go through the list you see on the screen, first is a preservation ordinance creating a historic overlay district. I will note that a local historic district is not the same as a National Register historic district. In very basic terms, a National Register historic district identifies the district. A local historic district protects it through your local ordinance. So in other words, a National Register recognizes the district, but it's the local historic districts that are designated by local ordinance and thus fall under the jurisdiction of the Commission, which mostly deal with the appearance, not the use of those properties. Now, another requirement is a qualified staff person. Now, we all understand staffing is sometimes an issue, but please note that 2 or more CLGs can also invest together to hire a single full-time CLG staff person for both their communities. And then another requirement is the establishment of an architectural review board or historic preservation commission or preservation commission, and whether it's called a board or a commission, they are committed to annual board training as well as annual goals. Another requirement are design review guidelines, a preservation plan, and a commitment to an ongoing program of identification, evaluation, designation, and protection, and review and approval or disapproval of all National Register historic places nominations in your municipality. Now, please note, you can use HPF grant funding to help implement most of the above requirements apart from a salary for the staff. So, as a CLG, your local government has made a commitment through signing the CLG certification agreement more precisely that outlines the responsibilities and duties for each CLG, which we will briefly go over in this tutorial because there are other tutorials that go into these topics more in depth. So, to begin, there are hundreds of CLGs nationwide, and Kentucky has over 20 active local governments in this program. Now, CLGs are required to meet specific standards set by the federal and state partners. Now, to go through these, as you see listed on the screen, very broadly, one is enforcing appropriate legislation for the protection of historic resources, establishing a qualified commission including at least 2 members that meet professional qualification standards, establishing and maintaining a system of ongoing survey of historic resources in coordination with the State Historic Preservation Office. You also have a role in the National Register process, and of course encouraging public participation in local preservation programs, as well as the National Register designation process. Now, federal law allows states to add additional responsibilities to CLGs, which Kentucky has. These include maintaining adequate financial management systems, acting as a liaison to individuals and organizations in historic preservation matters, act as a maintain written guidelines for conservation of local landmarks and districts, and on that, federal regulations require that the Kentucky Heritage Council, which is Kentucky's State Historic Preservation Office, to encourage certified local governments to adopt the Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation as a basis for these guidelines. Now, just to state, you can also get more information from the Kentucky Certified Local Government Program Manual, which is available on the Kentucky Heritage Council's website. And again, just to reiterate, in exchange for participating in the state and federal partnership and undertaking in these responsibilities, there are benefits to your community, which we briefly touched upon at the beginning of this presentation. So furthermore, some additional duties for CLGs. You must adhere to all requirements outlined in our program manual, which, as you know, you can find on our website. You must adhere to all the requirements of the Historic Preservation Grants Fund Manual. Since you are eligible for this grant funding, you thus have to follow the requirements outlined in that document. You must adhere to any requirements mandated by Congress regarding the use of federal historic preservation funds. And each commission member is required to attend at least one informational or educational meeting per year, approved by the State Historic Preservation Officer. And this pertains to the work and functions of the commission or to historic preservation. In respect to training, the Kentucky Heritage Council will make available orientation materials and training material to all local commissions. Not only these video tutorials, but also additional supplemental resources for your use. So as a CLG, you are also, Kentucky also requires periodic evaluations. This includes annual reports of Preservation Commission activities for, which includes annual report of Preservation Commission activities, which are due on January 30th for the last federal fiscal year. Now, in these, in these annual reports, we do request an updated copy of your local historic preservation ordinance, commission meeting minutes, and attendance records, the number of certificate of appropriateness or COA applications you reviewed, new district or historic landmark designations created or changed, resumes of commission members, new appointments to the commission, training sessions attended, and progress made on goals and action items specified within the historic preservation plan. And as a quick note to that, the Kentucky Heritage Council will be sending out the template and format for the annual report in December, but we will also make that document available on our website, which of course we will notify you all about as well. And then furthermore, the CLG, the Certified Local Government, is also, we do site reviews every 2 years as well. So in conclusion, this is a very brief discussion or explanation on the basic understanding of what a certified local government is, the commitments, roles, and responsibilities. I encourage you to watch other video tutorials that dive deeper into topics that we have discussed, that we have talked about on this video. And thank you all for listening. And as always, if you have any questions or would like additional information, you're more than welcome to reach out to myself or the Kentucky Heritage Council using the information on your screen. Thank you.